We're looking at this question here for this Chinese investor who's looking to invest in 3 sectors: agric, tourism, and the energy sector. Alright, we've already done the first 2 approaches, Maximax and Maximin. Now we're going to look at the next approach, which is the Minimax criterion, which is also called the regret approach. So colleagues, in this case, when we say regret, think of it as the opportunity cost. Think of it as the opportunity cost. If you remember from economics, opportunity cost is the cost of what you give up whenever you make a choice. In this case, it's going to be the profit that you give up when you make a choice to invest in a certain sector. Okay, so with the regret approach, this is the first thing you're going to do. You look at these changes in demand, okay, and you're going to look for the highest payoff. Okay, so first you say highest payoff. So this is the highest payoff for the change in demand. Okay, so if we focus on this, when demand is high, agriculture it's 8,000, energy it's 3,500, tourism is 5,000. So the highest here is agriculture, so you put here 8,000 here for agriculture. We go to the mid. When demand is medium, we're going to look for the highest payoff. Agriculture it's 4,500, energy sector it's 4,500, tourism is 5,000. Okay, so the highest payoff here 5,000. Okay, then when demand is low, we're going to look for the highest payoff. Agriculture it's 2,000, energy it's 5,000, tourism is 4,000. So the highest payoff when demand is low is 5,000. Okay, so that's the first thing you do. Get the highest payoffs in the changes in demand, okay, or in the changes of state of the economy. Okay, when demand is high, the highest payoff comes from agriculture, which is 8,000. When demand is medium, the highest payoff comes from tourism, which is 5,000. When demand is low, the highest payoff comes from the energy sector, which is 5,000. Okay, that is step 1. Step 1, get the highest payoffs in each state of the economy, or in this case, in the change of the demand. Step 2, calculate the regret. So let me put it here so that of so step 1, get highest payoff in the state of the economy. In this case, we're here, change in demand. Step 2, calculate the regret. Calculate the regret. Alright, so regret equals highest payoff minus the individual payoffs. Okay, so highest payoff minus payoff basically, and you're going to see what I mean. Okay, so we make our regret table here. just make a simple table here like this. Okay, so here we have got agric, tourism or energy, then tourism. Okay, then we have the changes in state of demand here. Let me just put high, medium, and then low. So we're going to calculate the regrets for each of them. And remember, regret is just highest payoff minus the individual payoff. So let's hold on, let's put the battery. Yeah. Okay. So now we start calculating the regrets. So for agriculture, we start here. When demand is high, you're going to say highest payoff 8,000. You're going to say 8,000 minus this 8,000 here. Okay, so in the table I'm going to put here 8,000 minus 8,000. So the highest payoff, I'll put it in black, okay, so that you remember that we're subtracting the highest payoff by each individual payoff. Okay, so 8,000 here, 8,000 here, 8,000 here. Okay, so for agric, when demand is high, the payoff is also 8,000. So 8,000 minus 8,000, that gives us 0, which is telling us when demand is high and you invest in the agriculture sector, there is no opportunity cost. You don't lose out on profit. Okay, we go to energy. Okay, the payoff in energy was 3,500. Okay, so the regret is the highest payoff. When demand is high, the highest payoff is 8,000 minus the individual payoff. So for energy, it was 3,500. So 8,000 minus 3,500, we get 4,500, which is telling us that when demand is high and you choose to invest in the energy sector, you can lose out a 4,500. Okay, you say, okay, I'm not going to invest in agriculture or tourism, or basically I'm not going to invest in agriculture because that's got the highest payoff. If I don't invest in agriculture, I choose energy, I'm going to lose out a 4,500. Okay, tourism, the payoff is what? 5,000 here. So as I said, regret, highest payoff, which is 8,000 minus the individual payoff of 5,000. So 8,000 minus 5,000, we get 3,000. So this is basically saying, if you don't invest in the agriculture sector where there's the highest payoff, and you invest in tourism, you lose out on a 3,000 in terms of profit. Okay, so we've calculated the regrets for the first row. These values here, this 0, this 4,500, and this 3,000, these are the regrets. We're now going to go to medium now. Under medium, we said the highest payoff is 5,000. So this 5,000, we're going to subtract it with this 4,500 and this 4,500 and this 5,000 here. So whatever is in black is just the highest payoff for that state of the economy. Okay, so we'll say 5,000 here. Okay, so when demand is medium, agriculture has a payoff of 4,500. $5,000 minus 4,500, you get 500. Okay, so if demand is medium and you choose to invest in the agricultural sector, your regret or what you lose out is a 500. Okay, energy, the payoff is 4,500. Five minus 4,500. Okay, so when demand is medium, okay, and you choose to invest in the energy sector, you lose out on a 500. Okay, in this case here, the tourism sector is the best because there is no regret. 5,000 minus 5,000, that gives us 0. Okay, so when demand is medium and you choose to invest in the agric sector, not tourism, you want to invest in agric, you lose a 500. If you choose to invest in the energy sector, not tourism, you lose a 500. If you invest in the tourism sector, you don't lose out anything. Okay, so we've got the regrets for so now we go when medium is low. We said the highest payoff when demand is low, it's 5,000. So this 5,000, as I said, we're going to subtract it from this 2,000 for agric, this 5,000 for energy, and this 4,000 for tourism. Okay, so hold on, colleagues. Just respond to the caller. All right, so yes, when demand is low, the highest payoff is 5,000. So the one in black is the highest payoff. So this highest payoff, we're subtracting it from each individual payoff. So when demand is low, the payoff in agric, we saw the payoff in agric was 2,000. So 5,000 minus 2,000, you get 3,000. Okay, this is how much you'll miss out if you invest in agric. For the energy sector, the payoff was 5,000. So 5,000 minus 5,000. Zero, no regret. Okay. Then for tourism, the payoff is 4,000. Okay, so these are the regrets. If you invest in the agric sector, you lose out on a 3,000. Invest in tourism, you lose out on a 1,000. Invest in energy, you lose out on 0. So that is step 2. Calculate the regrets. Okay, calculate the regret for each of the sectors. Okay, so now since we've got the regrets, we're going to go to step 3. Step 3, get the maximum regret in each sector. Okay. In each sector, we're going to get the maximum regrets. Okay. So, put it here. Maximum regret. So if we come to agric, the regrets here, we have 0, we have 500, and we have 3,000. Okay, so the maximum regret is 3,000 for the agricultural sector. Next, we go to the energy sector. The regrets here are 4,500, 0, and 0. So the highest is 4,500. Then tourism, the regret, there's 3,000, there's 0, and there's 1,000. So the maximum regret here is 3,000. Okay. Then we go to the final step, which is step 4, where we apply now the Minimax. Have you seen as the name says, Minimax? So we're going to get the lowest of the highest. Okay. We're going to get the lowest of the highest regrets. That's what the Minimax. Okay, so that will be step 4. Apply the Minimax. Okay, so we pick the lowest of the maximum regrets. Okay, so here we can see agric and tourism have the lowest regrets out of the maximum regrets. So the Chinese investor can invest either in the agriculture sector, invest in the agriculture sector, or the tourism sector. Okay, invest in agriculture or tourism because they have the lowest of the maximum regrets. Okay, yes.